Nightmare Areola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, so yesterday, man, I was chopping it up with a few people offline, just talking about the heavyweight division, talking about boxing. Received a lot of text messages going back and forth with a lot of guys, just chopping it up about some good boxing, man. But yesterday, one of my friends, he had sent me a message telling me I should check out Deontay Wilder's Insta or Twitter account rather, and first of all, the video that he retweeted with Povetkin running through the woods, and then you can tell watching the video that he's running through the woods, he's shadow boxing, and then you could tell that something was watching him or coming after him or something, and then he turns around and it's like a Deontay Wilder. Well, it wasn't Deontay Wilder, but it was a guy with a mask on, taller than Povetkin, wearing the Deontay Wilder mask that he wears, wearing like a robe and a hoodie. Dope commercial. Povetkin, yo, congrats to your team, man. That was a dope commercial, man. That was a dope commercial, and Wilder retweeted it. That's definitely a dope ass commercial. But I was looking at that, and then I seen that Wilder had tweeted Wilder or hashtag Wilder Povetkin. So I'm glad that Deontay, because for a minute here, I'm not gonna lie to you. For a minute, I thought that they were just gonna sweep this interim champion, whoever that is, whether it's Povetkin or Stiverne, under the rug. I just, I know Wilder was on Showtime, part of the telecast for the Molina and Joshua fight. He's been on the few telecasts for Joshua on the Showtime version of the fights. So, and I understand what Showtime is doing, because they want to see Wilder versus Joshua. A lot of fans want to see that. Hell yeah, I want to watch that fight. But first things first, when it comes to Wilder, man, he has to fight this mandatory. He has to fight Povetkin. A lot of fans and the odds makers are all picking Povetkin to win this fight. I'm even favoring Povetkin in this fight with Stiverne. I don't think it's a gimme fight because Stiverne is a tough dude. He didn't look all that great in his last fight with Derek Rossi. I'm just favoring Povetkin. I think he's just a better fighter. I think he has more left. Just my opinion, but I'm favoring Povetkin. So the fight still needs to take place next Saturday, but Wilder, he retweeted Wilder versus Povetkin, and I'm glad that he's not overlooking this. Like I said, for a minute, I thought that they were just going to forget about the mandatory because I never heard him bring it up in the interviews that I've seen of him. Maybe he has, maybe there's an article out. You guys can link it to me if he did. Maybe I just missed it. But fans were talking to me about Joshua, and they're saying that, man, now Joshua's fighting Klitschko. We know AJ has had half as many fights as Deontay Wilder has had in his career. And he's already fighting Klitschko. It's already set up for him to fight Klitschko. To me, man, I'm going to be dead honest with you, man. This is my opinion. You can leave yours in the comments section. You know what I mean? But I believe that Wilder needs to skip this voluntary defense, man. I understand he's coming back from injury. He wants to know where his hand's at. You don't want him in a fight, a big major fight, without knowing where his condition of his hand is at. And my rebuttal to that will be, hey man, you're going in there in a fight regardless. So what are you going to do if you fight somebody that's a voluntary? Do you think your chances of breaking your hand again or re-injuring yourself is minimum? Like, it's going to be the same risk. It's still a fight. You're still trying to land a big right hand. It's not like he's going to be in there with a voluntary and say, you know what? I'm not going to punch as hard with my right hand in this one. I'm going to save it for my mandatory. It doesn't work like that. He's going to try to knock whoever he's fighting. He's going to try to knock their head off regardless. Right? Some of you may say, well, no, it'd be to shake the rust off. Well, it's not like Deontay Wilder. I mean, some of you make it seem as if he hasn't fought in like 3 years or something. He just fought Molina not too long ago. I mean, not Molina, I'm sorry, but Areola not too long ago. You know what I mean? So, nah, man, he needs to come back and take the winner out of Povetkin and Stiverne to get this shit out the way with. No more voluntaries. And hey, I've been one of the guys on here that have said Duapa, Spilka, Molina, guys of that ilk are not horrible bums, not that. They're good competition that he was able to get victories over. And I said that before the fights. I didn't just say it afterwards and try to justify anything. Always, you guys should know by now, when I break down the division, I break down everybody. I'm not into the bum this and bum that and my sister can beat him up. I'm not into all that make-believe shit, man. You know what I mean? Has Wilder fought legit top 10? Like, if you had to pick 10 heavyweights, has he fought the top 10? No, he hasn't. But if Povetkin prevails against Stiverne, that will be a legit top 10. If you want to argue Stiverne was top 10, I know he had the title. Fine, if you want to argue that because he's a title holder, how can he not be in the top 10? Okay, Charles Martin was a title holder, and I didn't have him in my top 10 when he had that IBF. But that's neither here nor there, man. But what I'm saying is I think Wilder needs to come back, fight Povetkin or Stiverne, get it out the way with. Some of the names I heard thrown around that he possibly can fight, nothing set in stone, but just things that I've heard, like Travis Kaufman. I've heard Gerald Washington. I've heard Jennings. You know, Jennings, it's not a bad fight, you know what I mean? But we just don't want to see that. I'd rather see Jennings work himself back up and, you know, fight Gerald Washington in like a WBC eliminator, since they're both rated highly. I believe both those guys are in the top 8 of the WBC, or one of those guys fight Dillian White or something. I'd rather see that type of thing. But when it comes to Deontay Wilder, man, and if he was to take on a voluntary, it has to be Kubrat Pulev, like the next highest rated guy. None of this, the number 12 guy, or I don't even know who's rated number 12. No disrespect to whoever that is, but I don't want to see that. I just don't want to see that, man. And you got Joshua getting ready to fight Klitschko, man. This dude has, what, 18 fights? He's about to fight Klitschko, man. The bargaining chips are going to be so, you know, Joshua's going to have the bargaining chips if everything goes to plan and it's Wilder versus Joshua. Wilder's not going to have no leg to stand on, really, man, because then you're going to have Joshua's going to have two. You know, let's just say Joshua beats Klitschko, right? I know there's a lot of ifs. If he beats Klitschko, he's going to have 2 titles. He fought Klitschko. Your similar opponents, he was able to beat cleaner, and he didn't get hurt, not one iota against Molina. Whereas Wilder got rattled and buzzed. He got the fight. He got the knockout. Let's not get it twisted. He got the knockout, all right? But I'm just saying, Joshua, it was a cleaner fight for him. On top of, he's huge in the UK. I just made a video about how Wilder doesn't get enough love in the US. It's total opposite in the UK for Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? So for Wilder to at least try to have his chips in his corner when it comes to negotiation table. I know this is so far down the road, man. A lot of ifs, ands, and buts, but he's going to have to fight. Hopefully it's Povetkin, and I say that not because I hate Stiverne. It's just that, let's say Stiverne does beat Povetkin, and some of you may look at it, well, Stiverne worked his way back up for his title shot. And factually, I guess that will be the case, because this fight is for the interim title. That is a fact. But with that said, though, nobody's going to be like jumping up and down for a Stiverne rematch. I'm just sorry, y'all. Like, and I talk about heavyweights, and I get the posts from all the heavyweight fans, really, when I talk to them, and include myself. Are you really going to be jumping up and down for a Stiverne rematch? Stiverne will, his people will, his core fan base will, but I just don't see it like that, man. I'm just being dead honest with you. Hopefully it is Povetkin, so he can beat some new blood. They've had their history with the Meldonium and fans going crazy back and forth, going at it with each other. That will be a good win. Povetkin, in my opinion, and I've said this numerous of times, behind Vladimir Klitschko, I believe Povetkin has the second best resume as of right now today, December 11th. I think he has the second best resume at heavyweight for current heavyweights behind Klitschko. Okay, so you beat Povetkin, then that can spice things up a little bit. But if it's a Stiverne rematch, he can perform. There's always the chance of him performing better against Stiverne the second time around. But I don't know, man. But when it comes to bargaining chips, though, I believe if Joshua beats Klitschko, man, he's going to leave Wilder in the dust when it comes to the bargaining chips. You know, you got Klitschko on your resume. Doesn't have 20 fights yet. Wow. Especially if he goes in there and he beats Klitschko in impressive fashion. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section about this. Do you think that Anthony Joshua, now he has Klitschko on the table, he just beat Molina in a cleaner fashion than Wilder did? Just everything that's going on with the momentum of him, the popularity, the huge fan base he has in the UK. Him and Vladimir is going to put thousands of people in Wembley. Thousands. You know what I mean? Now, pay-per-view may be hurting over here, but over there, AJ's pay-per-view numbers are quite decent. You know, I believe, was it the Charles Martin fight that did like 700,000 pay-per-views or something like that? Or I know the Dillian White fight, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think it did like 500,000. Now, I know in the UK, the pay-per-views are a lot less than they are here in America. Okay, but at the same time, though, hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, are watching this kid, man. You know what I mean? So you guys let me know what you think in the comments section, man. I don't know. I think Deontay's gonna have to pick up the pace now. As far as the opposition, because Joshua is getting on a steady climb, and now he's got Klitschko. You know what I mean? That's somebody's going to be, that's a future Hall of Famer. You know, so it's definitely a fight I want to see. Now, stylistically breaking both fighters down, I guess we'll see what happens when they get in the ring, Wilder and Joshua. But as far as getting some clout and fighting, the opposition that they're fighting, Joshua is starting to pass Wilder up, especially if he gets this, it's set and sewn, just fingers crossed that nothing happens, especially from this past 2016 with all the bullshit we went through as fans as far as drug testing and guys pulling out of fights and injuries and all types of other shit. But Joshua is him and Hearn, they are, the pace they're going right now, man, is a lovely pace. And I think if Joshua beats Klitschko, I wouldn't be surprised if Hearn is trying to organize a Joseph Parker fight to win that title. I really believe that Hearn is trying to get Joshua on the path to become an undisputed champion. I know Wilder has said it numerous times, and it's what he wants. And he even said that he wanted Joshua by the end of the year before he hurt his hand. Remember, before the Areola fight, he said he wanted Joshua at the end of this year, or at the end of this year in December. This month, he wanted him. So you guys got to remember that. He did say that, you know what I'm saying? But besides all that, it didn't happen. And Joshua fought Molina, beat him in a more impressive fashion than Wilder was able to. And now he's on the Klitschko, So I don't know, man. I think if Wilder, let's hope it's Povetkin that beats STIVERNE. You know what I mean? Just so it's somebody fresh. It's somebody with a damn good resume. Somebody that was a former title holder. You know what I mean? But, STIVERNE will be a former title holder too, because that's who Wilder beat to get his WBC title. And he would have a win over Povetkin. So I'm not trying to downgrade STIVERNE. I just want to see some fresh fights. I don't want to see recycled fights yet. Not yet, man. I don't want to see any rematches yet. But STIVERNE will have put himself in place to earn his rematch if he beats Povetkin, going over to Russia. He's getting paid a good amount though, but I think he's getting like 1.4 million, I believe. 1.4 million STIVERNE is getting. So I don't know, man. I don't like throwing salt on fighters as if, if they win, they win. If they deserve another shot, hey, they put themselves in that position. But to me, I just want to see some fresh fights. And I think the Povetkin and Wilder fight is long overdue. He was the mandatory for a long time before the Meldonium and all that shit came up. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments section, man. Seems like AJ is on his way to just leaving people in the dust as far as his resume is concerned with this new wave of heavyweights, not including Vladimir Klitschko, who's a future Hall of Famer, but just the Wilders and the Ortiz and all these other guys that are coming up, man. Joshua's putting himself in a good place. I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.